The amount of discussion going on in the comments section of my first impressions video of Apple's new HomePod is super cool. But there are a few questions surrounding Apple's new HomePod concerning how will it work and what exactly can you do with it outside of listening to music that Apple has conveniently left unanswered. Now, I'm not hating on the HomePod. We've got to see how it does when it's released in December. But these are my top 7 questions concerning the Apple HomePod. If you have any questions of your own, comment below and let's keep the discussion going. And please hit that like button. First up is connectivity. Reporters that got a first look at the HomePod after Apple's WWDC keynote got some good up-close and personal video. In those videos, you can clearly see there's only one cable going out of the HomePod, the power cable. But I didn't see any USB ports or auxiliary ports on the HomePod. Granted, the ports might be hidden on the bottom of the device, but interestingly enough, Apple's site makes no mention of the device having either of those ports. I'm just saying, having either of those ports might be important. What if I wanted to use my HomePod as an external speaker for my iMac Pro, and I wanted to use a wired connection because I wanted to get the best sound quality from whatever I'm playing off of my computer? And the same goes with my TV. Also, Apple's site makes no mention of the HomePod having Bluetooth. So how's it going to connect to your phone? And please don't say magic. Under the wireless specs, it says that the speaker has 802.11 ABGN AC Wi-Fi with MIMO. So will I be able to connect non-Apple devices to the HomePod? Or is the HomePod going to be exclusive for Apple devices? If you're just communicating with the HomePod over Wi-Fi, does that mean if your Wi-Fi is down, then you can't use your HomePod? And what about streaming services? Obviously, it'll work with Apple Music, but can you use Spotify or any other service? Cause I have an iPhone, but I'm a huge fan of Google Play because you get to stream all the music you want, you can store music locally, and you get a subscription to YouTube Red, which means you can watch YouTube videos ad-free, all while supporting creators. And can you store music locally on the HomePod? Because again, if the Wi-Fi is slow or down or you're just not in an area with Wi-Fi, how are you going to play music if the HomePod has no connection? Also, what about the wake word? If you have multiple Apple devices and you say, "Hey Siri," are they all going to activate? Or is Siri going to be smart enough to know if your iPhone is connected to your home Wi-Fi, default to the HomePod? But what if you're home and your HomePod is in the living room and you're in your bedroom with your iPhone and you say, "Hey Actually, Siri just went off." Like I was saying, if you're in your bedroom with your iPhone and you say, "Hey Siri" to your iPhone, is the HomePod in the living room going to start talking? Or is Siri going to be smart enough to know you're in a different room in your house and it should default to your iPhone? The simple solution is just using the mic to determine which device should activate, but what if you're standing near both devices and you want to activate a specific one? And are you going to be able to connect multiple Apple accounts to your HomePod? Because Apple made it very clear they want to make the HomePod your musicologist. So if I say, "Hey Siri, DJ for me," I'm going to expect it to start playing rap, EDM, hip-hop, or R&B. But if my dad comes over and says, "Hey Siri, DJ for me," he's going to expect some completely different music. And if I say, "Hey Siri, add so-and-so event to my calendar," I'm going to expect that event to go on my calendar and not someone else's. Or is the HomePod going to be locked to just one account?
I didn't find any events about I'm going to expect an event to
Siri,
go on my
please,
calendar,
I'm
else
recording.
is the HomePod going to be like to just one.
Also, what about the spatial awareness? Will the HomePod automatically know where it is, or are you going to have to calibrate it yourself? And what if you move it? Are you going to have to recalibrate it again? Because with my Xbox One, if I move the position of the camera, I have to recalibrate it every single time, or else the voice commands won't work. Also, what about ordering stuff online? With the Echo, I can say, "Hey Alexa, order 5 pounds of Flaming Hot Cheetos," and it'll order that from Amazon for me. I'm not saying I do, but it's a hypothetical. Does Apple's and Amazon new deal go a little deeper than just having Amazon Prime Video on the Apple TV? Will you be able to pair your Amazon account to your HomePod and order stuff with the sound of your voice? Or less likely, is Apple going to jump into e-commerce and start selling stuff online too? I doubt it. Look, Apple has never been first at releasing their products. They weren't first when they released their MP3 player, they weren't first when they released their smartphone, they weren't first when they released their tablet, they weren't first when they released their smartwatch, and now they weren't first when they released their smart speaker. But they always took their time so they could deliver the best user experience ever. Apple is going all in on music consumption when it comes to the HomePod, and new information and changes will come until Apple's HomePod is released in December. Unless it gets delayed. And until then, we won't get the answers we're looking for. but it sure is fun to speculate. Hey, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It helps out more than you realize. For more product reviews and deal alerts, check out jimcandy.net. If you want to support the channel, pick up a shirt, and I'll catch you next time.